So it depends on if your brokerage account is ready to accept that on Monday. I think you will be good to go. But some maybe you may not be able to order.
Right.
But I do want to make sure to let people know that be careful, because I see a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, it's gonna go back." But remember, the company has to go 4 times more than what it is for that stock price to go up.
Right.
Now to that previous price.
Which one was the it was Tesla's now the wealthiest man. Elon Musk. Yeah, it was
maybe.
He's the wealthiest man. But which I think it was one of those companies did $2 trillion. It was either Apple or Tesla.
I think
They were. It was Apple. Is there $2 trillion now?
See,
Yeah.
see,
And then keep in mind they have a new Apple coming out in September.
a new Apple.
A new phone.
On the phone.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Yes.
how many people even I don't
Yeah.
care, people be broken, they be like, oh, they don't want to upgrade.
Yeah. You right.
Well, it's so true because we're thinking like, oh, okay, we're in the recession,
No,
people are not going to be
people
buying. But I remember in the past when we've been in a quote unquote recession, and they said more people were buying lotto than ever before. So you would think the things that you think people are, okay, I'm gonna buckle down, I'm not gonna do this, and I'm not. No, they're doing it, and you're right. The phones, they'll still buy the phones.
Yeah, they're still gonna buy the phones. I
Yeah.
think it's cause I have the 11. What is it? They always changing numbers. I don't know if it's the 12 or they probably gonna put a 20 out there.
11A or B, I don't know.
So yeah, so we'll see what happens.
But yeah, just be aware that yes, it is more affordable. But
Right.
that doesn't mean
It's
it's
not
gonna just
guaranteed.
shoot up right back to
It's
where
not-
it was.
From your mouth to God's ears, though, we're hoping that that's what happens, but there's no guarantee. Always remember
But
that.
as I said in the group, and I made a comment, people, you just have to stop treating the stock as if it's like you're gambling.
Right.
And think of it as a long-term investment, and this is a
Right.
company that you believe in. In my personal opinion, Apple is not going anywhere. So this, to me, this will be a long-term investment. I'm not looking to get in to make a couple dollars and get back out.
Right.
But we also gotta think about how much growth does Apple have room for. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, cause Apple has, like I just said earlier, Apple has to be innovative, right? And they, for the most part, they have
For the most
been.
part, they have.
They have
Yes.
been. But like they gotta continue that because at the same time, everybody has an iPhone, right? But okay, they gotta keep on pushing out that new stuff. That way, you got more money coming in from wherever. Like I know, for instance, like the App Store, right? I saw that they're charging like a super crazy amount just to be in their App Store, and they're just saying, oh, it's just because we're Apple. Right? And now they had to pull a popular game. I think it's like, what is the game? It's some game that's really, it's like, it's not, what's that game that all the kids play? I don't know.
Fortnite?
It might be Fortnite, it might be something else.
Roblox,
I gotta look it up, but it is a game that has been pulled from because they just saying you gotta give a little bit.
I think it was Fortnite.
Yeah,
I
saw
something on our
But I think we discussed a few episodes in the past that a lot of people are loyal to brands.
And Apple has a lot. It's like they like Beehive.
Sierra that was talking about it. Yeah. Yes, they are like Beyonce and the Beehive.
Like,
they are
I'm telling
loyal to Apple.
How many memes that we see on Facebook saying I can't talk to you unless you got an Apple phone? Because if they see a green,
Yes.
they see green.
Believe me, I've been dealing with that my whole. Because I'm like I would invest in Apple, but I just think.
Got a Droid?
Yeah, I be like, look, because it's so funny. Like, I will put my phone against any Apple. I'm like, okay, let's compare my pictures and your pictures. Because Android getting a bad name because it has different tiers to Android.
Right.
Apple has like really just a few tiers, and that's it. So that makes it seem like, okay, on a larger scale, you can be like, oh yeah, Android cheap but at the end of the day, I'm for the same specs that we're doing, and my phone is probably gonna be $200 or $300 less than yours.
No, actually, because I was Team Samsung prior to I got Apple. Samsung Samsung phones are actually more expensive than Apple phones now.
See, I'm not a Samsung person either.
Oh, okay. Well, we talking about affordability.
I ain't a, I like,
Samsung was up there. It was like 400 more than what Apple would have been.
yeah, Samsung up there too.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I like
the Droid. I'm with you.
I like, I
Sarah,
like
you need to come back
OnePlus.
over to our side.
Actually, I cannot because I have a MacBook and it actually, for my business,
See?
it's easier to maneuver with the same brand.
Okay.
Cause if I need to airdrop something,
Yeah.
I can airdrop it or everything. My phone is connected to my laptop. I can get text messages, I can answer the phone. So it just works very well for my business.
I tell you what,
Okay.
Apple does an excellent job of keeping you within their ecosystem.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
So
if
they
you
want
like,
you to use it.
if you in there, they make it hard for you to switch over
Yes.
because you stuck in it. Because if I got one and I got two devices, now I can't talk. My phone can't talk to it just like my Windows computer or vice versa. You know, it's
I
kind
had to do a lot of different, you know, it make you do an extra step. Like if
Yeah.
someone send you
Right.
a message, like, you know, I do a lot of designing. So if someone send me a picture or something, I would have to email it to my computer.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's too many sales verses. I can just airdrop it, or it just shows up. My messages is attached to the computer.
Okay.
Okay, so I do want, so before we go to the next thing, I do want to talk about why Fortnite, it was Fortnite,
Oh, okay.
why Fortnite was pulled, because Apple is charging all developers a 30% fee
Ooh.
of any money that they get. So let's say,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
so they're charging developers 30%, and they're just saying, and that's super high because I think maybe
30%.
Google is charging significantly less than that. And they're just like, well, we're Apple, so you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think that Apple has to. I mean, they might have to give a little bit on that because, like, if bigger companies are bringing, and you might lose some revenue
loyal
because,
customers.
just
Yeah, you're
because
right.
they
That's
want
a good point.
Fortnite. So
I have
That's
a
a
question.
good point. Go ahead,
From
Sarah.
the Facebook group.
Mhm.
Mark Brown said, why is Apple valuation worth $2 trillion and Tesla worth $210 billion, but Tesla stock is more? Is it because of prior splits? I would say yes, because
it's more
Tesla
stock.
Apple has probably had 3 or 4 splits,
Yeah.
and
Tesla
Tesla, it would just be their first
Yeah.
split ever.
So I would. So
Hey, somebody tell Amazon to split.
what is the guy's name? What's the person's name?
Mark Brown.
So I would advise you to look at the float of the stock, and I want the shares. Matter of fact, don't even look at the float. Look at shares outstanding. So Tesla has 931 million. Let's see how much Apple has. So I'm assuming Apple is gonna have. What y'all can do it. I'll look it up while I.
Okay.
Alright,
Go ahead.
What's Apple?
Trey say Apple is the most valuable company ever. I wonder, do they got good business ethics? Do you think, like, you know, they grow because they treat their people right?
I think it's a combination.
I just think.
Combination.
I think.
They have a good
brand
product
loyalty.
and brand loyalty. Yeah.
Because even when Steve Jobs passed away, people thought that Apple would go down.
Go under,
Go under because, you know, he kept a lot of things to himself. He didn't share his knowledge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Apple actually uses some of Samsung products
Yeah, I
too.
know, yeah. and you know, like, and the good thing that Apple has to go with it, they have a cult following, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Like people will ride or die for Apple. They, if you don't have that green bubble, they gonna let you know.
No, they want to have blue bubble.
Yo,
Like,
see, I don't even know the bubble
Y'all
color.
green, we blue. Y'all turn out.
But and I do know that what Google is working on that, by the way, but I don't
Google.
think.
Oh, you a Google person?
Yeah,
That's who you
Google,
are.
I'm a Google person.
Actually, I didn't like Google phones, but
Yeah.
hey.
But anyway, we're gonna move off that. But shares outstanding for Apple is like, so we talked about how many over a million.
Right.
Shares for Apple is 4.3 billion. So that's why.
Oh, that's why it's
Yeah,
less
yeah, so
because
that's
Tesla
what's more.
doesn't
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
It's made outstanding.
outstanding as an
Yeah.
Apple.
Okay.
But that number can always change after this split.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
So we'll
I don't know if that's accounting for the split or not. So
No, but
I
you know
gotta
they
look.
probably didn't update it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like the 31st is supposed to be the official date, but some brokerages have already already showed you what the price is.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, so,
And that's a great point, Sierra. Just you guys think about that. Make sure you don't look at the stock price. Make sure you know how much is out, how many stock is out there. Make sure you know the outstanding shares. That way you know, okay, is this a good value? You just not looking at the stock price because you gotta make sure you know that. I know the P&E ratio. I know shares, earning per share. Just look at all that stuff before making a decision on what you're gonna buy.
And I think that's when people say, do your research. That's one of the things that people need to start talking about, like outstanding shares. Like
Yeah.
how many people, like we have new investors, they probably wouldn't even know to look at the stock price to find out how many shares are outstanding.
that's a video you could do for more.
Okay.
Hey,
You know, I ain't been doing the video in a
I
while.
know,
But I mean, it's just because, like, I feel like we did, and then we did a lot of stuff, and then now
But
it's
we
like the
didn't.
group is growing to
Yeah.
where you necessarily don't need that
Yeah.
as much
Yeah.
now. Now we
think
trying, we done
we-
graduated to options now.
Yeah.
Well, but keep in mind, when we did those videos, we probably had 2,000 members. We have
Yeah.
since doubled that number, and we still have some people that's afraid to invest, are just new, and they're trying to get it, we refer them to YouTube videos, but we got people in-house that can make these videos and put it all on the same
Yeah,
page.
and it's always good to check that, check those
Those-
sections.
Yeah, the top,
Yeah,
for
those
those of
tabs.
you who don't know, if you go on the top of of our Facebook page, under topics, you click on topics, and then we have about 20 different topics there. There's option trading, first time investors, IPOs, stock tips, stock terms. There's a whole plethora of information under topics, so please check out our topics tab.
And the outstanding shares just reminds me of something that happened like a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago. But people were talking about investing. They're talking about a pump and dump for Dogecoin. You remember that?
Yeah, I saw
So-
that, but I also remember Kodak.
Kodak.
The outstanding
Oh,
shares.
yeah.
Dogecoin?
Yeah, it's
Doge.
Was it Doge? I think it was Doge or Dogecoin,
Oh.
whatever it was.
Mhm.
But basically, people were like, "Well, if we get this to $1, But the way you had to look at that, it was so many outstanding coins that it would never get to $1 unless it was like super. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So people just didn't realize. They just think, "Oh, Bitcoin is at $20,000 right now. Why can't we get this to $1?"
Right.
But you gotta know, there's a certain amount of Bitcoin. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So Bitcoin is I think it's on, for everybody in the world to have one Bitcoin, it would be impossible. I don't know the exact
So how do you
number
get the
of
money out of Bitcoin? That's what I wanna know.
how you get the money out of it.
Yes.
You just sell it just like a stock.
Oh, you sell it just like
Yeah,
a
so
stock.
you sell,
Okay.
so you just say sell. I want to get out of it. Boom, you get your money back, and you just take it like that. So,
Okay.
but I guess the overall goal is to become to where you can pay with stuff in Bitcoin. So,
We'll see. Anything is possible. 10 years.
That's right.
but what I do like about Bitcoin is that it's like I talked about. It's a certain amount. You know what I'm saying? So when it becomes as time goes on, it's gonna be harder and harder to get your hands on it. Like I don't know if it'll ever become a currency where we're buying stuff, but it definitely will be. A lot of people say it's like digital gold,
Mhm.
right? So it's a store of your money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's another way to diversify, basically.
Right. Understood. All right, so let's move on to stocks to watch this week. What do you guys think about Zoom?
Zoom, companies are still using Zoom. A lot of people
Yes.
still work from home.
Yes.
And that's how we communicate via Zoom.
Yes.
So Zoom, I would just wish that was like a COVID play. We should have got
Yeah.
into it when it was there.
Who knew?
I don't know how
Who knew?
much more it
Yeah.
has to go, potential it has to go up, but
I think
hey,
Zoom.
you're in it.
Yeah, I
Stay
think.
in it.
Yeah, I think Zoom. Yeah, if you got it in at a good
A
price,
good price thing.
stay in it. But I do think Zoom has to watch his back because I know a lot of people coming from it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Work, is it work?
Teams. Is it Teams?
I saw a lot of them. Like I said, it's a lot of
Yeah,
platforms.
it's a lot of
That's
people.
all it
Platforms
is.
are
I
coming
know,
up.
stopped using WebEx,
Right.
but you know, it's so many
We-
different.
Microsoft
Zoom.
Teams,
Yeah.
Now we gotta use
Google,
Zoom.
Yeah.
Google. I don't know if y'all seen it, but if you go to Gmail, Google is pushing it. They want you to use it. I don't. If you go to your Gmail and look on the
Yeah.
side, it's gonna be like Google Meet or something like that, and it's free. You can just pop
Hey,
on
I think
there.
somebody just created a when what's his name? Samad?
Oh yeah,
Sima?
He did
Sima,
something else.
He just created, I believe he did do that one,
Yeah.
that particular platform. So there's so many platforms out there, but hey, I don't see that going anywhere.
Yeah, and I know the school board, they just
Sure, we have to use Zoom
Yeah,
for,
they just bought
for
a-
logging as kids.
yeah, they just bought a Zoom license. So I mean, you know, it is, but I know they had a outage that happened, which brought the stock down.
Oh yeah, I remember that, but it didn't stay down that
It
long.
didn't stay
so-
right.
It didn't stay
It
down
didn't
because
know
I remember it was also due to people were hacking into Zoom.
Mhm.
You know, so that's why they say don't share your codes or anything because people
Right.
were getting onto Zoom that they didn't have no business being on there. Interrupt
Zoom
your
bombs.
interrupt your meetings.
Yeah.
Because I know even still, even outside of work, I know when we were on quarantine, me and my friends would get together and we would
Yeah.
have Zoom sessions.
Mhm.
Right.
And
Well, are y'all paying for
Birthday
Zoom?
parties.
Are y'all paying for it though?
Actually, we did.
Y'all did? Oh,
Because
okay.
if you go over a certain amount of time,
Yeah, they
you
gonna
have
charge
to
you.
have an account.
Yeah.
Unless you only have that small window.
Yeah.
Like we were doing it. That's why we even had a paint party on Zoom.
Mm.
Oh wow. Yeah, I have a family member that did a baby shower on
Wow.
Zoom and then a birthday party on
Mhm.
Zoom. You do what you need to do, so
As a
people
matter of
are
fact,
using it.
I'm jumping on a Zoom
Not
family
only
call right
that,
after this.
I watched this show. I believe it come on their own channel, and they had the celebrities and they get together and they talk via Zoom.
Oh yeah, it's
Yes,
seen a lot of that.
yes.
You watch the show,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm like,
I know what
yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah.
I was like,
All
okay,
right.
good thing. What other stuff you got?
5 and below.
Hey, that used to be my store, but I haven't really been in no brick and mortar store, so I
Yeah,
can't really
I
speak for it. But I know I did order online with them for some hand sanitizer when we sold out
Oh,
at different
okay.
stores, but I don't know. I haven't even looked at the stock.
I think brick and mortar is going to have to be innovative, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order to survive right now, because like I want to look at their online, like what are they doing online? Because that's a big thing. I know, like Best Buy, they I think they tripled their online revenue just by having a good online presence. And I think
Man.
there's a pet store called Chewy who's killing
Oh,
it. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
Chewy, definitely.
Yeah.
You got a
So-
delivery, like that's what I'm saying. Like, when these IPOs be coming out, that's why people are so excited about.
Lamar doesn't like IPOs. So.
I understand he don't like it, but guess what? People are ordering their groceries online.
Yes.
We need that, like Instacart.
Yes.
How many
Yeah.
people took advantage of that? Even Walmart's offering online delivery.
So we talking about like IPOs, right?
Yes, I understand
So-
you don't like the hype of
No,
them, but
I like because Rocket didn't Rocket just IPO?
yes,
Oh,
rocket,
yes.
and then look at it, it on rocket
They don't
skyrocket.
skyrocket, but
Rocketed.
let's be clear though, it went up, it skyrocketed, then it took a dip, and then it went
Went
back
right back
up.
up.
So I'm telling y'all, wait on them IPOs a lot. Now I don't want to say all the time, but a lot of times they gonna dip a little bit, then they find a good spot, then you go up, cause
So-
the hype is real.
So basically, don't be on a rush to buy on opening day. Wait till it stabilizes.
Like
But,
I don't want to say
hey.
all the time because
Because
sometimes you're
sometimes
gonna
it
miss
doesn't
out.
work that
Yeah,
way.
sometimes it don't. But I can tell you, a lot of the time, because you got to think, like we talked about, what is the reason people do IPO? It's to get the early investors a time.
Yeah.
The initial they can now cash out. So what are some of those people gonna do? They gonna cash out, and then while everybody else trying to flood in there, you got the big whales
But
cashing out.
But I think when you talk about Rocket, look at what's going on now. It's mortgage. Like
Right.
it's
Oh,
so
yeah,
many
wait.
companies that had to open up separate departments because everybody's refinancing right now.
Yes.
So you think about what's in use.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
your money there because
Right.
I mean, like nobody wasn't. But prior to this COVID, because the interest rates are so low right now,
Mhm.
people really wasn't considering refinancing their mortgage. But now
Yeah.
if you can get your mortgage for like 2%,
It makes sense.
it
Yeah,
makes
it makes
sense
sense.
to refinance.
Right.
And I'm in the market myself to buy a house, and I'm like, cause I'm Rocket is on my watch list. I tell you what, Rodney is definitely on my watch list. I should have gotten it a little earlier, but I didn't.
The real estate market out here is booming.
Yeah.
Right.
No, when I tell you,
It's booming. It's competitive.
And
Yeah.
it's not going down. People are thinking, just because it is what they think this borderline recession, the house values are staying the same.
Yeah.
Like people are still selling their house and getting good profit. I
Yes.
mean, like I'm a homeowner. I'm not in the market to sell, but I do have a lot of people in my neighborhood that sell it, and they getting their asking price.
Yeah.
And people that buying homes, they not getting homes for like less than what they think it's going to be.
So any of those good homes, I'm gonna tell you now, any of those good homes, the one that you think that's a deal, it's like the next day, I'm like, oh man, we like that next day.
No, they're taking it.
It's going.
It's taking
It's
it. Somebody going
Yes,
out.
my cousin and my cousin-in-law are going through that right now.
Uh-huh.
They're trying to find a house, and every time they go here or go, they'll
Contracts.
see something and it's boom, it's already pending. Oops,
But-
somebody already took it.
But I do think we're in a dangerous game. Like it's really high risk right now because of the government helping, the government assistance, right? So they have, with the CARES Act, you know, they keep on pushing it, delaying. So eventually when they stop giving people that assistance, you're gonna have a lot of people who are evicted.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of foreclosures.
Right.
I do expect
So-
foreclosures to
Yeah.
happen, but at this time,
Right, at
Right
this,
now.
at this moment,
point in time,
yeah,
like
but you never know when that's
you
gonna
never know
happen.
because
Right.
foreclosures takes for
Exactly.
you to get put out, it's gonna take a while.
yeah.
Right.
It's not an overnight process. Cause
Yeah.
the bank's gonna do their job. I mean, they're gonna do their best to work with you,
Mhm.
Right,
and they're gonna try to put you on another program and
Right.
try to bring you back current. So it won't happen overnight.
Yeah.
But
right.
it will be a
Just
lot
be
of
careful,
foreclosures.
just be careful.
I mean, just make sure you have a stable job. Like we said, multiple streams. Make sure you don't always rely on that one source of income.
Right, that is so
You
true.
can't- You can't do it.
So true. So what do we consider, recession-proof stocks?
Okay, so you want to take?
Well, let me tell you what. I've been looking at cloud computing in the technology sector. Anything that's at the top technology sector has been killing it. Like if you see an IPO with a cloud that does cloud computing, I have one on my watch list that I'm looking at. I forgot the name.
What's the name of it?
I'm gonna bring it up, but if you're looking at cloud compute, like I think there's one called, the recent cloud computing IPOs have killed it. I think there was one called Skyforce or something Force.
Well, if you're excited about it, then that means something, because.
Yeah, because Lamar don't get excited. How much is this stock? Like cloud computer, what exactly does it do? I need to understand.
So,
Explain to us.
okay, so basically it's just tracking customer behavior.
Oh, so
So-
basically when we go online and we Google something
Yeah,
and we
so
search something,
basically anything your
a search engine shows.
anything that your customer does, it kind of gives you feedback on what your customer is doing. It's like really data driven. You know what I'm saying? So
So would I use it if someone's going on my website, or I would be able to see?
Or is that similar to blockchain in a way?
blockchain is more so like a ledger of what you're doing. And so let's say if I buy something, that's gonna go on a book, then I sell it to you. That's all in a chain, so you know where that. So let's say if that's
You
$1,
can follow the-
I can follow the dollar.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know when you get $1, you don't know where that dollar from. It could have came from the the strip club. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just saying, like you know, like stuff like that. You know, that could have been swiped. You know what I'm saying? But you can trace it and figure
Now I
out.
gotta
what-
watch all my dollar bills.
That's why they say don't touch money because it's dirty.
Exactly.
So I see
But I'm gonna find
Lamar, I'm sorry. Trey said he loves his AT&T, GE, Nike, and Starbucks. I actually became fond of Nike like a couple of years ago when everybody was shawning Colin Kaepernick. And Nike was just like, hey, we finna give him stuff, we gonna put him on the contract, and then they give us Serena Williams, so I'm like, it was really low.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, Nike for me. Been on Nike for a couple of years now.
I do know that, like, I've spoken this before, but like when I was younger, I would just buy all this. I used to work at Foot Locker, so I used to buy like all types of shoes. Like I literally would just work to buy shoes, basically.
That's what I did.
and
That's
clothes.
my whole paychecks went.
Yeah. So, but I look back and I'm like, if I just did if I had just put in $200 in Nike at that time, it would now be worth like $14,000. That $200. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that's the key. Like we're not looking forward enough to to see what we can do. Like at that point, Nike was still everybody, like people was
Everybody
lined up.
still buying Nike.
You know
I
what I'm
went
saying?
to, cause school just started, and I went to the mall last week, and even though like there's only like a certain capacity allowed into a Foot Locker, people were still lined up, wrapped around the corner for some shoes.
Nike was my first stop, and I wish I would have never sold it.
You sold Nike?
I sold it. That was my first stop.
You didn't pick it back up?
I ain't
When
pick-
they
no, I got it
went
now. I think
Oh.
I don't even know if I have it now. But I do know that.
No way,
Look, I'm with y'all.
throwing
I'm
Bye.
Well, you have so much stock that you don't even know what's in your portfolio.
And he ain't worried about if they dip.
No, well, I do want to say that. I think people right now, some people hold on to their losses too long. If you gotta know a number,
Know when to fold them.
know when the, right now in this
Are
particular
you
market.
quoting my Kenny Rogers?
Look, because I think you always think, well, what if this goes up? You fall in love with the
Right.
company.
Did you
Right.
fall in love with Guinness? Or Genius?
I didn't. I did not.
I had a love affair with Genius, whatever it was.
Whatever. Yeah,
I
whatever.
did, but we
brand.
broke up.
Did you finally get rid of it?
Yes, we broke up. I didn't even go to counseling. I went straight for the divorce and
But
we're
let me
done.
ask,
We're done.
since we're on divorce, did you divorce in Novio? Are you still holding on?
I'm still holding on.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so what is is it lower? What's the negative percentage?
And Novio's
No,
not
I
in the
got it
negative
in.
for her,
Oh,
but she
not-
got
oh,
it
okay,
in
you
so
got it.
low.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it.
But look,
Sometimes
it went up
okay.
to 35, but it dropped down to 12. So I'm like, man, that thing must have
okay.
get your profit and run with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to break even, get you a
Yeah.
little profit.
Yeah,
and
take-
keep
He's
moving.
been so good to me. I don't
Wow,
want to just leave
it's
him like
calling.
that.
COVID doesn't want it no more.
I don't want to leave him
Like
like
the
that.
hype was.
Can we at least
COVID.
go?
Yeah,
I want to
that-
go to counseling. I want to try to work it out.
Nah, don't work
No,
it out.
don't work it out. Take your share, your profit, and keep it moving because, as I recall, I think you brought it for $6.72.
Yes.
So right now you only doubled your money.
You double
Right.
it.
You
Get on
doubled
out
it.
of
Get
that.
over it. Cause
Hey.
you want to like.
Yeah.
You doubled your money.
Because
get
look,
over
let me
it.
tell you what. It's so much stuff, and I used to hate to say this, but it's so much stuff running up right now. Get into that, and then you know what I'm saying. Ride the wave as long as you can. Like for instance, Tesla. I'm
You almost divorced Tesla.
I did.
You did?
But then I got back in there. Okay, because remember when we talked before earnings, I was so scared. I was like, I don't
Ain't
know.
gonna
It
make
ain't gonna. But
But do
then
you realize they still producing cars? People are still buying
Oh, no.
Tesla, even though we say it's the middle of a recession. Them cars still about to flee.
yeah, and then they got so much else stuff going on. Like for instance, the big battery day. It's supposed to be September 22nd. I think that will help them out as well.
Say I'm rocking with Tesla.
So if they have battery day, if they announce some crazy thing that they increase battery consumption or whatever the case may be,
So they gonna be in
it's gonna
competition with Duracell and all the other batteries.
who knows? Who knows with Elon Musk? He might, he talking about brain chips and
Well, he's
everything.
innovative.
Look, how long this battery gonna last in my remote before I have to take it out?
But yeah, I feel like, cause I made the mistake of, like, I think people like to see that gain percentage, and they like to see it up. Cause I see one right now, Wayfair is up 263%.
Man, you gotta hold on.
I am holding on, but I wish I would have added some more to make that lower.
Yeah.
Because I would have gained some more money. But my stubborn self, my stubborn self was like,
Lamar, stubborn.
yeah. And I'm like,
I feel that way
hey,
with.
I'm like, so I'm looking at it, I'm like, he ain't gonna go up no more.
I don't know.
It gonna hit 200. And I'm looking at it, hit 100, hit 150.
And you know
It's
what?
200. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I should should have been riding the wave up instead of,
Yeah.
you know what
What's
I'm saying?
that one vaccine company? I was like, man, I thought it was finished at $100. Is it the company?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
It's now I think
buying
it's like
So
almost
many.
200.
it is.
Yes, I was like, you know what? They at the top.
But see, I can't get into these biotech companies because it's every 2 minutes.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's the same company who manufactured the flu vaccines. I should have known that they were going to be the one.
I can't remember what you're talking about, but.
It'll come back to me probably after the show.
Oh, let's,
But
check
recession-proof
Facebook.
stock.
I think anything tech is recession proof because I don't want to say recession proof.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I don't want to say.
I'm
I want
gonna
to say
say tech.
strike that from the
Don't
record.
say
Strike
tech.
that from the record.
Please,
I
don't
was
say
thinking
tech.
when you said recession, I was thinking more so COVID.
No,
Yeah.
no,
But now
no.
I got a recession. Yeah, we
Think
don't want
about
to.
it.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Um,
Strike that from the record. I
yeah,
did not
please
say
don't.
that.
Please don't. Look, I'm gonna say that any company that has your necessities, Dollar General, Walmart, even Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
Because you know, when money is tight, we want our money to scratch to the next paycheck.
Right.
So we're gonna look for the bargains, and that's where I don't even know. Do Family Dollar have a stock? I haven't looked at it, but I'm
I
pretty
don't know,
sure
but
they
Dollar
do.
General does.
Yeah, but Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Walmart,
Kroger is
Yeah.
another one that
Yeah.
they say. would be
Kroger.
good. General Mills. because they
General
have
Mills.
A bunch of cereals and a lot of the products that people
Okay.
use.
Yeah, that you
Also, don't forget your waste management.
management, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because no matter what, trash has to be put out.
Yes.
Right.
Right
This is a
now.
hurricane. Everybody evacuated.
I don't know if we would consider this a recession proof, but Smith and Wesson.
Oh, guns?
Because every time something happens,
Yeah.
we have some type of riot, or even when there is a disaster or whatever, people tend to, that's one of the first things they buy, believe it or not, is they run to the gun
I
shop.
think people buy guns when there's a shortage of money, because guess what? If
They
you don't,
feel like
if you don't
yeah.
have it, someone, and that your neighbor doesn't have it,
Right.
they might take it. So
Right.
you're gonna protect your home.
Right.
I know for myself, I'm going to make sure my house is secure first.
Well,
Okay, one with a gun. I see no. Hey, y'all better not try to rob Sierra.
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Go
Do
ahead.
you have any questions on Facebook? Any comments?
Yvonne just said tomorrow Tesla's going to go crazy. I agree.
Yeah.
And Mark Brown says they have a 1,000,000-mile battery. That would be a
See,
game changer
yeah.
for Will.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the,
Yeah.
and that's the battery day. You don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's something that's gonna it may push up the stock even more. But just I think we should be careful with Tesla because it has ran up a lot. So this is what I would suggest. I would suggest setting your alerts to, let's say if I've gained $2,000 on Tesla just on my gains, right? Let's say it went up to 2,000 right now. I want to set an alert that says if this stock goes down to whatever my number may be, it can't be $2,005 if it's $2,100 right now. It can't be that. But let's say if it goes to 1,800, I gotta get out. You know, set your number. That way you don't lose. That way you don't lose. Yeah, a comfortable number, and then set it in your little alert things, and then you know if you get that alert, put it. If you can't fall in love with it, you gotta set it.
See, that's my problem.
Yeah, you gotta. You gonna fall in love with it.
Sometimes you be like, okay, so some companies you like, ooh, like I said, you fall in love with these stocks, you believe in them. So it's like, okay, for my thing, I don't want to let Marriott go, and I don't think I'm going to let Marriott go. At least until I see the economy back
Not
stabilized.
you be in divorce court before I can
No, but Marriott has actually been good to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
it's
I
been
brought
good.
it when it was low, when nobody wasn't going, and I think this week it went up to like 94 or so. And I'm like, you know what? I'm really loving you, and I'm ride this thing out. I don't know, like I looked at, I be looking at how it did before COVID.
Right.
So I know it has the potential to go back up because believe it or not, people traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I don't want to say like when we talk about don't say divorce. When you just taking a little break, because let's say the same thing I did with
So
Steph.
it's an entanglement?
I mean, I guess if that's what you want to call it, but you can't feel too involved with these thoughts, man. You gotta let them go. You gotta set your line, and if they pass that line, you gotta let them go. Then you can always look back at it and say, okay, I think you're good right now. Then I can jump back in,
Right.
because that's the same thing I did with Tesla. I set that number. No, I did not. The same thing I did with Tesla. I said that earnings. I didn't feel
He was
comfortable.
scared.
I was scared going into earnings. I had already gained a lot of money,
Right.
so I'm like, I'm not gonna be greedy, because it can easily just
But
fall off
sometimes
of.
you have to be greedy.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to be greedy,
Right.
but that's what I did. So I went in, I let it go,
Mhm.
and it dropped down to a point where I was comfortable again. I got back on in it. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing can happen. Like, let's say for instance, I had wanted to get Disney. While I think me and Don was talking about this, what's our buy point?
Oh, yeah.
And
I
it-
wanted to buy Disney.
It
Yeah.
never dropped
It
to
never
our.
dropped
It
down,
never dropped to
yeah.
our drop point. And
Mhm.
then even though it was some bad news, I forgot what the bad news was. It
Mhm.
still never dropped. And then I ended up having to buy it later at a more expensive price.
Right.
When I should have just, if you like something, you like something.
Just take it.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you like something, you like something. Stop penny pinching and just jump on in.
Right.
And if you got your number in which I'm gonna sell at all times, I think that is important. You gotta have a number that you are willing to sell at, because the biggest problem I see, and I just looked at it. I was talking to a friend the other day. He had a negative 30% stock, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you? I see, because he's like, man, you doing this and doing that, man. What's going on? I said, well, let me take a look at what you're doing. And I see a negative 20, and I see a negative 30.
It was
Now-
more than one in a race.
There's more
I
than
get
one.
nervous.
So
when
I
see
was
all
like,
races.
Now this year is a little different than normal years, right? You can
This
have
year is
like,
unpredictable.
yeah. So
Especially
like,
when it's come to the stock market.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of green out there right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, but so that's why I'm saying, like, we gotta change our strategy in different times. Like at this point,
Right.
it's not smart to hold on to a loser, because there are so many winners out there. You know what I'm saying? Now I would like in a normal situation, I might say my loser can go down a little bit more. But when you got so many winners that's running up crazy,
Right. You should be in the green.
your money should be working
For you.
in those instead of you waiting for something to just maybe go up. You know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
he's using it to offset his gains. Cause he maybe getting ready to cash out.
But
So you need to be,
I still got some. I got some
You gotta be
reds.
strategic.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
got
You gotta
some
be
red.
strategic, like, hey, the IRS say
Yeah.
I did this, but no, I took a loss.
Yeah.
So here
I
it
think
goes.
you can do a loss of the 3,000. But the point is, if you shouldn't let anything go negative 25%.
That's
too much
Right.
at this point in time. Like maybe
Right.
not in a regular year, but in this year, when I'm talking about, like, you got all these big runners, like just within a couple months. Like I remember when our little semi crash happened, right?
In March. In
Now
February.
that was March. Now we talking about March. Everything was red at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now since then,
Mhm.
I had Tesla go up into the 200, the triple bag. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had Wayfair going to triple. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I shouldn't be holding on to that loss. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I should be I had Square jumping out there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I should not be holding on to those losses. Go ahead and find you a winner,
Mhm.
even if you think because a lot of people thought Tesla was too much at $1,000.
Man,
That's-
and
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
A lot of people
yeah.
thought Tesla was too
At
high at
$800.
$500.
You know what I'm saying? So
So,
don't find yourself, in a position where if I can ride the wave for a little bit, ride the wave, but just always know your exit point. Always know your exit point, because our problem is we either get in way too late and we try to fall in love and say, well, it might go back up to this high, or we just fall in love with it and say, fall in love with the
Meanwhile, the
company.
stock is treating you like an option, like you're a side piece or something.
yeah.
You gotta know your worth. Know your worth.
Oh, I do want to say, I know a lot of y'all I know this ain't on our agenda, but I did remember this. A lot of y'all people who was holding on to those marijuana stocks. this is your week, okay?
You better tune in.
Yeah, the House is voting for marijuana legalization.
Right.
Yeah, so this week, so this might be a time for y'all.
Put
You
it
know?
on your watch
Yeah,
list.
if it's on your watch
I
list,
still have it.
take
I
a
still
look at it.
have one, yeah.
Yeah, so it might be a good time for,
So,
and I'm so against.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and I'm
If
so
it
against
has.
I don't want, because I want to make sure that I pick the right company. And
It's so many companies.
Yeah,
out
it's so
there.
many- it's so many
It's
out
no
there that you-
guarantee.
It's
Yeah.
like the, it's like the
It's like the COVID
vaccine,
stock.
yeah.
I think
COVID stock.
Just
Yeah.
hope that you got the right cannabis company, but.
I think you're better off being a little late to the party than trying to guess where the party is going to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if somebody jumps out and said and becomes the leader in the marijuana world, jump in at that point.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
So why do y'all, this week, I don't know if you noticed, but the hospitality industry was back jumping again. Why do you think it, what caused all that green?
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, these people are ready. At being a teacher, these people are ready to get up out of that because
Yeah.
like they don't even care. Like they like I don't care. Get my kid in school now. So I think people are just
Get
tired.
fed up.
But yeah, and they're ready to just get out and be normal.
Yeah.
But I also think it could be backfiring to it too.
Yeah,
you know
because
what I'm
I just
saying?
seen Royal Caribbean,
I ain't see what
look at
happened.
their shares.
Killed it.
Yes, they killed it on Friday. London stocks go down on
Yeah.
Friday, but Royal Caribbean, like, they
Royal
pretty much-
Caribbean is a thorn in my side, cause I remember when Sierra told me about it back in March, and I was like, nah, I'm
What's
gonna
the
stick with
RCL.
Carnival.
RCL?
Yeah, she was trying to be safe.
I was like, I'm
And
gonna
I was like,
I
you know
did
what, I
Carnival
want
in
Carnival,
Norwegian,
and
and
I
you
want-
did Carnival
Royal.
in Royal, and she made out. Oh, she really made out.
But y'all know, like I was in,
Look at
I was in I see it. So 2 days. Let me go. So it jumped up from 64 to like $70.
Yeah, it closed at $70 on Friday.
Wow.
So, and Carnival is still stuck at what, 15?
But I'm gonna tell you,
It has gone
It
up,
went up
to
to like
the
the
20s. Yeah, it
But-
went up to the 20s.
And
And
then
then
went right back.
everything was going
but
back.
it's a,
Cruising
that.
starts in October, right?
Yeah, see, those are really. I'm gonna tell you, they are really risky. So I mean,
They're risky,
They're
but for people like us that got in.
yeah, exactly.
in
Yeah,
March,
you
we
good.
got in when it
You
was
good.
like $8
You
or
good.
something. We
I think
good.
I took my
Yeah.
profits on
Royal
Carnival.
Carnival.
I was in Carnival, but it jumped up, and then
Mhm.
I
Hey.
heard about those
I
more
got
cases.
in,
Yeah.
at Royal Caribbean at $22. So,
Ooh.
I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay, you
She
see.
just rubbed it in my face right now. Thanks, Sierra.
I mean,
Listen, not to cut you guys off, I just wanted to announce that I know in the past week we've been talking about option trading, and we have, and I'm probably saying his name wrong, and I apologize in advance. It's Sima Brobla. He actually, we pinned it on the top of the page earlier today. He is setting up a I don't think it's a Zoom, but it's some type of live on Friday at 1 p.m. I believe.
he has the link.
Yeah, the link is posted on the top of the page, Friday at 1 p.m. He's gonna be doing, discussing, options, and he's gonna do a live option trade right in front of us so we can see what's going on. I know it's an odd time and day, but, if you guys can tune in, that'll be great for everyone who is interested in the option trading.
Hey, yeah, I jumped in the option world.
You did?
How did it go?
So I'm gonna tell y'all what. Do not go into options unless you got some risk. You got some money in the bank. Cause
Mhm.
you put your money in, then you gotta wait. So you gotta wait until either you want to exercise
Your contract.
Yeah, your contract, or you want to sell it, whatever.
Mhm.
But you pay the premium, and then it's just like a waiting game, and it's like it's on steroids because you got 100 shares or something. So
Mhm.
if the stock go down 5%, it's really 50% on your end. You know what I'm saying?
But I see a lot of people, okay, so I know people that do the options, and I'm just sitting back and I'm listening. I know people like, did you try to do the put for you bet against that the stock
Nah.
will go down?
not in
That'd
this
be
market.
a good option.
Not in this market.
I was just saying, like, you would've made big if had you did it for Urban One,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
Guinness,
yeah.
or, you know what, it's
But-
gonna go down, and you would've made your money.
But you know what? Like when in those type of situations, I realized that they make it hard to get in those because everybody's trying to get in.
Yeah, they kinda
So
already
it's
know,
all-
like,
yeah,
you know,
it's
they kinda
hard.
already had that
But-
lined up.
But I think that a good strategy though is to be a little bit long term.
That's what my brother said,
Yeah.
he make his contracts at least 3 months.
Yeah, you
So
can't be.
you can't be short,
You
cause
can't
then
be
that's when you
sure.
lose your money.
Yeah, because you're gonna
You
lose
don't
your
have
money.
enough time to,
So
wiggle room.
yeah, if you kind of set it out, and I kind of said this in the group, you got to think about it. If you think this, like, if Sierra owns a house, right, and it's worth $100,000, and I think next year it's gonna be worth $200,000. What an option is basically a contract between me and her, and say, look, I want to buy your house in next year, right? I want to buy it for $15,000, right? Because I think it's going up. I'm sorry, $150,000. Because I think it's because I think it's gonna go up to $200,000. I will pay you $3,000 for you to give me the right to buy it at $1,500 next year. So that's basically what the option contract.
I mean,
So
I wanna
now,
do it, but-
now if it doesn't go up past that 1,500, I'm like, I just lose that money. But if it goes to 200,000, I'm like smiling because now I get to buy your $200,000 house.
And you made profit.
And I made, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
So let me just,
It's a great way.
Daryl asked the question, can it be recorded? Let me find out, cause I'm not sure what, platform he's using for the, option trading for Friday. So I'll get back to you, Daryl.
I'm
Thank
sure
you
he's
for the
gonna
question.
record it, cause he
Yeah.
recorded something else. Yeah, he recorded something else,
Yeah,
so
it should,
he
you should be able to record
with his
it.
little setup, I'm sure
Oh,
he
yeah.
got the means.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fell asleep.
Yeah.
Tired, it's hard work doing options.
No, yeah.
You have to put in work.
Okay, do y'all wanna talk about that picture?
What picture? Oh, the picture.
Oh, yes.
The controversy.
The controversy.
Okay.
We only got a couple of minutes.
Okay, so, someone Michael Ayers posted a picture, and it's of a African-American male behind bars, and he's poking a piece of bread that says voting, and then next to it is a key that says Black economics. Some people were offended, and some people got it right away, like Reginald
They understood.
summed it up excellent, you know. Shout out to Reginald, Bailey, thank you. So what do you guys think?
I mean, it depends on, it's an artist, so it's based on your interpretation. So, I feel like we can do both. We should be striving to do both in the Black community, but oftentimes we are last when it comes to Black economics. I mean, that's the whole basis of May, Mar, and myself starting this platform, so we can start getting a piece of the pie and starting to build that generational wealth, because we are so far behind. Like, you hear especially like, I'm in my 30s, so I still consider myself young, but you still see so many people like myself, like, they're not thinking about economics.
At
They're
all.
thinking about the right now.
And
that
the government,
gratification.
and the government coming to help you out.
Yes,
You
so
know what I'm
they're
saying?
not, they're not thinking about stocks. Stocks, they probably like, it's a foreign language to them. It's something that they haven't been exposed to, or even a whole ownership idea.
Right.
But now I'm glad that we do have a wave of Black entrepreneurs, so.
So I hate to be political, but I do wanna say that I think that I do appreciate our ancestors and their fight and their, hardships to help us to vote. I do appreciate that, but I think people place people on a pedestal. Joe Biden or Donald Trump, they're not coming to save you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I think that